listening to Party Time, My Golf Story with Kevin Walsh and whatever special guest he has today. You can check me out on episode 9 of the podcast. Today I'm wearing Grayson clothes while I'm out practicing because I believe in look good, play good. And follow me on Instagram, Sophia Warren Golf, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers. And the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com. Now here's your host, Kevin Walsh.
Hey, what's going on? The show is still on the road. We're recording this on Wednesday, May the 7th at 7:30 in the morning from Ledyard, Connecticut, instead of our usual place at Lakewood National Golf Club in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, because I'm visiting my folks in southeastern Connecticut, Ledyard, Pennsylvania. Our guest today is Domenico Geminiani. Dom Geminiani. And God, what an interesting story he is. I'm so glad I've met him. Kevin Curtin, one of my caddy buddies, said, you got to talk to Dom. And then I talked to Dom and I'm like, you got to be a guest on the show. I think you're really going to like him. He has Caribbean roots, Italian heritage. He's chasing the dream, incredible player, 30 plus pro wins, speaks 3 different languages, and he is just a breath of fresh air. Dom Geminiani. Before we go any further, just some housekeeping notes. Thank you to all the subscribers we have. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so because that matters to the bean counters at all the different listening platforms, YouTube among the biggest. Subscribe, leave some comments on the podcast because that also helps our sponsors. And a big thanks to our sponsors, Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course, you're tired of the routine of the cart girl comes by and you're like, hey, nooners. High noon, try something that really sings to your heart, that tastes a lot better, much better quality ingredients. Try a party for golfers, by golfers. And if you're in the golf industry and you're like, well, we don't have that, but we want to get that here. How do we get it? Take a look at this. See down below. Paradise Craft Distributors is the exclusive distributor of Party Drinks across the state of Florida. And if your dream is to live in a golf real estate community like Lakewood National Golf Club, then there's nobody better than the golf real estate pros at suncoastdreams.com. Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro. The market is picking up a little bit of momentum. I know that because I'm married to Gene. If you're looking for a place to buy, there is inventory at Lakewood National Golf Club, the #1 golf community in America. Vince and Gene got you covered. suncoastdreams.com, a division of fine properties in the greater Sarasota area. All right, enough of the preamble. Let's get the man of the hour, Dom Geminiani. Hey, man, I'm really excited to talk to you. The background, where are you? What's going on?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be on the show. The background. So a friend of mine has a restaurant here and it's 7:30 in the morning. So he's my roommate. So I didn't want to wake him up. So he gave me the keys to the restaurant and here I am. Yeah, he's got a beautiful restaurant here in Estero. It's called Zeno Ristorante. And here I am.
here you are. Now, Zeno, can I assume that's Italian? I want to get into Italian stuff too.
Yes, it is. It's an Italian restaurant here. Great food, great people, great energy, and yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, when I'm in Estero, I'm going to come visit you and support your friend and hopefully play some golf with you. God, I love your name, Dom. I mean, what's your full name and what's the story behind it?
Yeah, you said it very well. Domenico Geminiani. So I grew up with my dad, who's Italian. All my family on my dad's side are Italian, and they live in Italy. And my mom's Caribbean, and so kind of a different mix. And growing up with my father closer to my Italian side, so Domenico Geminiani is basically Dominic Geminiani, Dominic in Italian, Domenico.
And tell me, I think I know this. Domenico just means Sunday in Italian?
Yeah, Domenica would be Sunday. Okay. Domenico is Dominic. But one letter difference there, but very close to Sunday in Italian.
Perfect. I mean, do you love the language? I just love hearing it.
Yeah, Italian. L'italiano è bellissimo, no? Italian is beautiful. Just very elegant, very smooth, and very blessed, obviously, to be Italian. Proud of it. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Elegant. I love that word. Just in English, or just like when you hear it in Italian. I'll never forget one time. I mean, I grew up in Philadelphia. A lot of Italians there. All my friends were Italian, and I was in a coffee shop in South Philadelphia, which is the heart of like Little Italy in Philadelphia. And I heard a granddaughter who was probably in her 20s speaking to her grandfather in Italian. And she noticed I was listening. She's like, "Do you speak Italian?" I said, "No, but I just love the language." She's like, "It's beautiful, isn't it?" I mean, Isn't that just what the essence of it, the elegance of it coming down to it?
100%. Here in Florida, I don't have, all my family live in Italy. So every time I do go to Italy, just enjoy, speaking it, hearing it. I do talk to my family a lot, so I speak in Italian with them. But as I said, a blessing to be Italian, very blessed, fortunate. And every time I do speak it, everyone's like, oh, wow, the language, it's phenomenal.
Well, you're an international man of mystery because, looking at you and knowing your background, you're like the United Nations and everything. Tell me about being born in the Caribbean and ultimately how you came to America.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Honestly, I don't even know where I'm from, to be honest. Obviously, Italy is who I represent and, what I feel. But I was born in the Caribbean. I was born in Martinique, a French island in the Caribbean. My first 5 years, I lived in St. Lucia. My mom is from St. Lucia. Moved to Florida for tennis, actually, when I was 5. And my brother was a little older, 9, 10, just, tennis, some better schooling and whatnot, to live the American dream. And yeah, we moved here when I was 5, and my brother switched to golf. He just, one day just decided, hey, let's play golf. And I just kind of followed him, but we did move here for tennis. And it's time is flying, but what a beautiful journey.
Well, tell me about the tennis part. Where were you? Were you at the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy before it became IMG?
Yeah, so my brother had a scholarship there at the Bollettieri Academy for about 6-7 months, and so we moved to Bradenton, Florida. Went to school there, and basically grew up in Bradenton. Lived there probably for 17 years before moving to Orlando for a couple of years. Then ultimately moved down here in Estero, and in between lived in Italy for 3 years as well. So.
Well, the golf when it came, so you were just kind of little kid brother tagging along with your brother, but you got good really fast. Like, when was the first time you had a golf club in your hand, and how quickly were you, say, breaking par?
Yeah, so honestly, a blessing, and very fortunate, very blessed with that. So I started playing tennis, when I was a kid, maybe 2, 3, crawling around with the tennis racket. But on occasion in the islands, we would go to the driving range. So when I moved here to Florida, we'd go on occasion to the driving range 5, 6, 7 years old. But I officially switched when I was 8 years old. And I remember my first tournament, obviously from the advanced tees, but my first tournament, I came in third, 6 holes, it got rained out. Man, beautiful memories. Unbelievable. Second tournament, I ended up winning. Obviously advanced tees. I'm not sure what I shot, maybe even or 1 over, 1 under, something like that. But definitely blessed with the hand-eye coordination of tennis, which is amazing. And then it just came very natural, very natural. I don't want to say easy because that sounds a little cocky, but definitely blessed. It just, the more I played, the tougher I got.
you don't have to be cocky about it. I'll just say you're a natural at it, and the fact that you play tennis, I find so many similarities between golf and tennis. I wonder if you do, because I notice when I see people struggling with golf and I'm on their bag as a caddy, if I ask them if they've played tennis and they do, then I could talk to them like, you hit a golf ball just like you hit a tennis ball. You don't hit at it and stop at it. You hit through it. There's a release. Is that a road that you go down?
I mean, there are so many similarities. I'm kind of going to throw a curveball in here, and this is for later on, maybe storytelling later on, but I do play pickleball now, and I play a lot of tournaments, pro tournaments, and there's so many similarities. I love it because the mental side too, just staying calm. Pickleball gets a little bit more intense than golf. Golf, you play against yourself. Pickle at a high level, it's 2v2, or if you play singles, 1v1. So, it gets pretty intense. They're winning points and the come-ons and the just controlling your emotions, being in the mode. There's so many similarities in that sense. And then the hand-eye coordination, as you said, hitting through the ball. there's so many similarities technique wise, fading, which is the slice and pickle, or the topspin forehand is like a draw with the driver. There's so many similarities, and the same with tennis as well. So a lot of similarities, and, blessed with being able to play tennis when I was younger and translating to golf.
Well, pickleball is golf light. And at some point, people are coming to Florida, those that are retiring here and looking for something. I mean, everybody comes for the golf. We know that. But now you must have the pickleball, because that's like a community in and of itself. Such a cool game. I love it. Haven't tried it. I mean, I've watched it. I know I'll love it. I will play it at some point. Amazing. But you turned pro at what age, and how quickly did you really start getting into the business, so to speak, of pro golf?
Well, I got in it really quick. I turned pro really young, 15. I played my first 3 years on the Challenge Tour in Europe, which is the tour just below the European Tour. And it started out pretty good, talent-wise. And even mentally, I thought I was ready, which I think I was. But I just started kind of playing poorly, maybe end of the first season, second season. And that's one thing in golf, is that when things are going well, everything's great. But once you start kind of losing it, that's where you have to have a little bit of experience. And, but yeah, turned pro 15 and played my first 3 years in Challenge Tour, and just been grinding ever since. What a journey. Unbelievable.
Well, tell me about that. Just like from a logistics standpoint, how does one at the age of 15 travel around Europe, get hotel rooms? I mean, you probably didn't even have a driver's license. I mean, just little things that the rest of us take for granted. When you're a young pro, you can't do it. How does it work? Yeah,
so tough. Oh my gosh. I remember those days so vividly, because you grow up so fast. The first year I traveled with my dad, which I was 16. And then the second year, traveled by myself, which I was 17 years old. Obviously checking in hotels and stuff. I was rooming most of the tournaments with other guys playing, other Italians. But man, it was so you grew up so fast, because you're going from country to country. It's not like you're just driving to different state and stuff. I mean, you're going from different languages, from Spain to Finland to France and I didn't have the experiences I had now. I mean, it was the first time traveling by myself, and yeah, life kicked me in the butt. And, but you have to learn, you have to be humble, you have to learn and keep moving forward. And that's how you get better, whether it's golf, whether it's life, whether it's everything.
Dom Geminiani, I messed it up. Dang, I was doing Geminiani is our guest. Is our guest here on Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Great drink alternative. If you're looking for something different on the golf course, try Party. And the Golf Real Estate Pros at suncoastdreams.com, a division of Fine Properties. Gene Walsh and Vince Visicaro. If you're looking for a place on a golf course like Lakewood National Golf Club, nobody better than Gene and Vince to help you out. So, Dom, the struggles. Tell me this, as the young whippersnapper on the Challenge Tour, some of the other tours, because you're still young. How old are you now?
I'm 29, but I feel like I'm 42. So, but I am 29.
I get it, because it started so early. Were other players helpful to you, or they're like, hey, kid, no help here. You're a pro now. It's welcome to the bigs. What was it like?
Yeah, a mixture of both, to be honest. The first year, obviously traveling with Italians helped, and they gave me, they helped me out a bit. But there's obviously, just in general, and that's just life. There's going to be jealousy, and there's going to be maybe people that make your life tough. Looking back at it now, I wouldn't change anything, because man, it builds character, it builds character. But yeah, a mixture of both, because there's definitely some people who, are a little jealous, which is normal, I guess. and yeah, you go from it, but it's so, I can't even explain in words how tough it is, especially when things are not going well. 17 different country, traveling by yourself, getting burned out, because at the time, all I knew was just practice. And so like 24/7 practice, just burned out, and golf sometimes is like you practice a lot and the results are not showing. And man, it's so tough. But as I said, that grew me to the person I am today. Just how to handle different emotions and stuff. That's probably thanks to those days.
Well, tell me this. You opened the door. You made yourself vulnerable. I appreciate that. I appreciate the candor. But Did you ever have a round where, I mean, you didn't quit and walk off the golf course, but maybe mentally you did that and you knew you were completely lost and maybe panicking?
Sure.
Help me out with that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the third year of the Challenge Tour was probably the toughest year, because that's when I, off the tee, I was kind of hitting it all over, short game, everything. And I didn't have the experience of now, like the mental side of it and everything, because from up until like 16, 17, I never struggled, everything was going so smooth. So I didn't have to like, oh, okay, this is what I should do to bring it back, So I was just kind of like in shock, like, oh my God, like I'm hitting it all over the place. Just loss of confidence because you're hitting it all over. And then the last year Challenger, I'm telling you, it was so tough because you're on the tee, you have no idea where it's going. Obviously you're playing with great players. So it can be obviously embarrassing and loss of confidence, kind of shocked because like, it's the first time, like you have no idea what's going on. And I played the Italian Open, I think that year, played the Italian Open, and just hit it all over the place. Played with some great players, in front of my home crowd, which they have high expectations, as they should, and hit it all over the map. And that was terrible.
Well, I mean, at some point you got to get the plane on the ground in one piece, but you probably feel like you lost a wheel or a wing at some point. What would you do after just like a god awful round like that, where you're embarrassed, you probably hate the game, and you don't know what to do next? How do you get it back? And by the way, did you ever just walk away from the game for a stretch of time where you're like, that's it, I'm done?
Well, honestly, I probably needed a party drink, but back in the day, as I said, I didn't know much. I didn't have that experience. I mean, now I would know maybe to, relax a little bit, kind of take a break, maybe quiet the mind a little bit, do something else. But at the time, no, it's just go back to the range and grind more, which probably made it worse because I was kind of burned out. And it's like the more I practiced, the worse I got, because it was just, I didn't really understand. I mean, I understood the mental side of the game, be calm and all that, but I didn't understand when things are not going well, how to just bring it back to just bring it back to even, bring it back to the fundamentals and stuff, just overthinking maybe the whole swing or just in general. So that was just so tough because that's why I play so much pickleball now. A lot of my friends are like, what are you doing? Because I mean, for example, I played a tournament yesterday and the day before. The first, and we'll talk more about it later. But the first round, after my first round got rained out, we finished at 6. Got rained out, and I went to play an indoor pickleball tournament, mini tour. It's called a money ball, from 7:30 to 10:30. And then played my second round a day later. But I do this because why? Because just to keep a balance. Because this game will destroy you if you don't have a balance. You'll get so burned out. It's so tough.
Yeah, we got to have a release, whether it's playing a different sport, whether it's reading, watching a favorite television program. You got to have more in your life. But so much of our conversation is about golf. You've played in 4 PGA Tour events. Tell me about the hard asses on the first tee at Mayakoba, who they were and what they said or didn't say. Yeah,
this is phenomenal times, man. So I went to Mexico, Cancun there. I was 19 years old, and this was after the struggles of Challenge Tour. So, I started to really study the mental game a little more, figure out the mental game a little more. And I went to do the Monday in Mexico and got through. Top 4 got through. I just got 4th place. I think I shot 4 under. I think it was windy. And went to play my first PGA Tour event. And I tell you what, that's my dream, because I played some European Tour events, which is great, but this is a PGA Tour. This is top of the top. This is Tiger. This is, Rory, but this is top of the top. And, I'd study the mental game a little bit. So my main thing was, I wanted to play confident, be myself, and not look up to anyone. Well, I showed up, this is even before I showed up the first day. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday, and I showed up to the golf course and I had my travel bag, and I had my travel golf bag as well. And I went straight to the clubhouse, to the pro shop, and I remember seeing a couple players, and they were like looking at me, kind of like shaking their head, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, well, welcome to the tour, you know? And this is the funniest thing. I went to go play a practice round, and I just had a local caddy. I didn't have cash at the time. And a local guy there at the Monday was like, oh, let me caddy for you. I was like, sure, I don't have a lot of cash, but, you know, we'll figure something out. And so I had a local caddy. I had I think Adidas shoes, Callaway hat at the time, like everything different. I don't even know what I was doing. So I go to the first tee, and there were 5 guys. I think at the time it was me, Duffner, Pat Perez, Jason Gore, and they were in 5. So I figured, I didn't know if it was 2 groups or if they were just going to play in 5. So, you know, with my mentality at the time, I was like, okay, I'm be confident. So I went up there and I asked, I was like, are you guys in 5 or are you guys 2 groups? And they didn't turn around.
They ignored you. Oh man, that is such a pro move.
Well, they didn't turn around. Understandably, they see this kid come up. They're like, who is this? You know, what are we talking about? And from my challenge tour experience, I was like, no, you gotta stand your ground. Like, you gotta. So I asked again a little louder, like, so are you guys in 5? Are you guys? They turned around and they looked at me for a second. I was like, this is my face. Like, I have a local caddy. I don't have a staff. I have a little stand back. And then they're like, oh, no, we're going to play a 3 and a 2. And I was like, you mind if I join? And I joined, I think, Jason Gore, Pat Perez, and maybe one more, maybe Wheatcroft or something. And they were so nice. It was amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Great people, but it was just hilarious. I looked like the Geico commercial, the caveman coming up to the tee. Are we playing for the tips today? You know, but it was unbelievable. Great people, and it was just a funny story from there.
That's cool. Hey, what's the lowest round you've ever shot in competition or socially? What's your career low?
So lowest in competition I've shot, I think 262s, and then just kind of by myself in practice, I shot a 61.
Mm-hmm. What's that like coming down, knowing you have a good round going, and are you firing on all cylinders, or do you get to a point where you're trying to protect a good one? I'm always curious about that.
Sure. Like, that's the one battle between, in pro golf, is that you can't, you can be 5, 6, 7 under. You can't start protecting and playing fearful, which is not easy to do because you want to, shoot a good round. Now, a funny story of the 62, one of the 62s, this was in a West Florida Golf Tour major. It was a 2-day event at Bobby Jones. This was about 10 years ago now, maybe 9 years ago. The first round I played pretty well. I shot 6 under, and I go practice at our house. At the time, we had a putting mat, and so I go hit a few putts at the house. I show up the day later. I'm on the putting green. I go to grab my putter from the bag. It's not there. I left it at home. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here? And so I go inside, and I think there was Terry Hansen at the time who was involved with the tour, and he had a 2-ball blade, I think it was. And he was like, oh, you can use it, for the round. And I was just like, well, first of all, thank you. But in my mind, I was like kind of embarrassed. I'm like, I'm a pro golfer here, leave my putter around. So I go out there and I start holing putts left and right. I'm like, this is a nice putter, man. And just kept on rolling. And next thing you know, I shot 10 under par. And I went to Terry. I was like, I'm going to have to use it tomorrow if I can. Yeah. And I used it the next day and ended up winning the event. And yeah, it was just crazy, just showing up to the putting green after shooting. And it was a 3-day event. Excuse me if I said 2 before, but just showing up to the putting green just without the putter after the day before shooting 6 under. I was just like, this is a movie.
Do you still have that? Do you still have that putter, Dom?
Well, I gave it to him back after a couple months.
Oh, you did? Okay. But he let you have it. Like,
he did for a couple months. So thank you, Terry.
Got it.
Did that. No, won't forget that moment.
Sort of the semi-permanent loan. Now, if I'm like fishing in your staff bag and I see a putter and I need it, you're going to let me have it. Exactly. On the presumption that, like, if I have something that you need, you're going to take it from my bag. And sure. Sometimes they work their way back. But not
sure. Now, well, I don't know if everyone would do that, but Terry is a great guy, and he let me use it for a couple months. But yeah, I would too, but I'm sure there's guys out there that probably won't. So that's 50-50 there.
God, when I was playing, I think I had like 17 or 18 putters. This was back when they only cost $55, not $350. And same thing. And I think I'm down to 4. So it hasn't really worked in my favor that way, like the putters coming back. But maybe I'm hanging out with the wrong people, Dom. I got to hang out with.
Well, I don't want to say that.
No, you can say that. So what's the biggest putt you ever had with something riding on it, either to keep status, big money putt, take me there, and what were you feeling?
Well, I'll tell you what, probably 3 years ago now, man, time is flying. 3 years ago now, I played first stage actually near here, like 15 minutes from here, Crown Colony. And I was playing pretty solid right on the number there after 3 rounds, and I had a solid front 9, maybe 2 or 3 under the last day. And this is first stage of Q School, Corn Ferry Q School. And on 12, I blocked a tee shot and made doubles, so kind of went right back on the number. And on the last hole, it's a par 5, and I hit a good tee shot, and I kind of pulled my second shot just left of the green in the bunker, short-sighted. Not a great miss for pros, and even for amateurs, you don't want to be short-sighted. And I hit a great bunker shot, but I left it like 15 feet. And in my mind, I knew I had to make it because I didn't know the number. But, playing golf for a long time, you have that gut feeling. You just know what the number is. I don't know why, I don't know how, but you know what the number is. I knew I had to make it. I just knew it. And pressure putt, obviously, because at the time, even now, but at the time, I didn't have a lot of cash. Q School's $5,500. Like, you don't want to miss first stage. It's just, I don't know. You obviously want to get through the whole thing, but first stage, you don't want to miss that. And so what I felt, I'm probably a little tight, but tried not to overthink it. And I hit a phenomenal putt, and it was breaking in there and just dead center right in the middle. And but still, I don't know if I made it or not. But deep down, I was like, I had to make it. And right after the round, I got through right on the number. So that was really big because, as I said, $5,500 is Q School. It's once a year. The pressure, the everything, So that was big, and went to second stage a couple months later. I think that was New Mexico at the time. I got sent to New Mexico. Didn't play well, so right back at it, right back to the grind, right back to step one, right back to the drawing board. But yeah, that was definitely the biggest putt vividly. Especially recently, but I think in general, just getting through first stage at the time with low money and everything, 15-footer there for birdie on 18.
I've had other guys that have caddied for guys going through Q School saying that their player, like finally when they're in or when it's done, they're like, I can breathe now. Like they just played the whole thing where they couldn't breathe. So like on that putt, so you're right on the number, and it's kind of make or break for you. Are you feeling it in your hands? Are your hands trembling? That's kind of what I want to know.
Yeah. The experience, as I said, the challenges and everything, experience through the challenge tour and just handling the motions and the pressure and everything, that's helped me out so much, over the last 5-6 years. So I know how to handle all that, but 100% when there's pressure, your blood feels hot. Definitely you're trembling a little bit. You're overthinking a little bit. Your balance is a little off, a little trembling. And obviously with the experience, I know how to calm myself down now, but you're going to get that a lot in pro golf where, the blood's hot, you're trembling, you short breath a little bit, and your balance is probably a little off. But that's part of the game. That's,
right.
I see so many young guys now. I say young, I guess I'm kind of young, but I view them as young. They're only working on their technique, and I'm like that, which is important. But I'm like, that's 50% of the game. You can have the best technique in the world if you don't know how to handle your emotions, if you don't know how to handle the pressure, if you don't know how to handle expectations, if you don't know how to deal with losses, because you can do all that and don't know how to deal with losses, and you're going to get burned out and angry, and you're going to quit. There's so many small things in pro golf a lot of people don't understand. It is absolutely grueling, but you have to master so many different assets. It's not just hitting the ball good. It's not just having good technique. It's just so much more than that.
So you're still actively chasing it. I know you've turned to teaching just to have the steady income that anyone at your age would need at the time at Old Corkscrew in Estero. First of all, tell me about the teaching, what it does for you aside from the financial side of it. Just like what it might do to your golfing heart. And how long are you going to play the Monday qualifiers, the mini tours, whatever they are?
Yeah, so teaching's been phenomenal for me because, as you said, steady income and whatnot. But more importantly, just growing the game. I love helping people in general, but especially the juniors. I have a kid who's 6 years old, and it just reminds me of when I was younger. It's a full circle moment. It's amazing. So that's been amazing. I've been doing that. I've been an assistant for a couple of years, so just changed to full-time teaching in January. So just helping grow the game. At the end of the day, the one thing that you do learn about golf is that it's not all about you. That's the one thing that I've learned throughout the years. As much as you want to win and be on whatever Golf Channel, whatever, it's not about you. It's about growing the game. It's about being humble, and it's about helping people out. And that's what teaching has helped me. I can share my knowledge, share my experiences, share the mental game, whatever, juniors, older people, whatever, any age. So that's been amazing. I'm in the PGA now, not the PGA Tour, PGA. So PGA is basically the head pros, assistant pros, teaching and whatnot. So playing a lot of those events. I'm playing some Monday qualifiers as well. How long am I going to chase it? Till I die. Oh,
yeah,
I don't know. But probably forever is my guess. Well, hopefully I'll make it before then, but still chasing it, even when I am quote unquote on tour or whatever, I'm still quote unquote chasing it, trying to get better.
Man, that competitive spirit is within you. Hey, Dom, tell me a good golf story. You told me the good one about the Mayakoba, the Monday qualifier, the guys giving you the cold shoulder and then warming up to you and everything else. What else you got? What's a go-to that you can tell over a six-pack, a party, or something else that always gets a laugh or a wow?
Sure. Well, this is kind of a golf / pickleball story because, as I said, I started playing pickleball like 5 years ago. A friend of mine told me to come join them in a pickleball game. I was like, that sounds outrageous. That just does not sound like a fun time. I had no idea what pickleball was. And then when I showed up, it looked very similar to tennis. And I was like, well, I'm going to like this. And so I started playing a lot of pickleball tournaments. But I was kind of keeping a low profile because that's the one thing you do learn in the playing pro golf and stuff is that you don't want to be too up and down. You don't want to start like showing off and so you just want to kind of be steady. So I just wanted to do my thing. And so I was playing pickleball tournaments and golf tournaments, but a lot of people didn't know at the time. Now everyone kind of knows. But so I started playing some pickleball events, and it was funny because I did the Monday qualifier of a tournament in Miami, a PGA Latin American event. It was in Weston Hills. And some of the people were starting to rumors starting to go around because some of the pickleball players were starting knew some golfers and some golfers knew some pickleballers and my name started to pop up oh, there's this guy, he plays some golf. And they're like, oh, what's his name? Domenico Geminiani. And they're like, some golf, that's what he does. And the pickleballers were like, no, I thought he played pro pickle, and so it was just funny. And so I went to do the Monday qualifier there at Weston Hills, and I was supposed to actually drive to Alabama for a pickleball tournament right after. And I ended up getting through, which, I think I shot 7 or 8 under, played phenomenal. I had no expectation because the day before I just played pickle. Because at the time I was just burned out from golf. I just only played pickle, and I was just amazing. And it was just kind of funny because months later and even a year later, whatnot, I'll go play a lot of pickleball tournaments, and they did not know that I played golf. They thought I was just full-time pickle, full-time practicing at night and stuff because these are pro events and whatnot. And I have the tennis background and I play a lot of pickle at night, but it was just a look on their faces, they'll follow me on Instagram and stuff. It was like, you play golf?
Well, you're going in and out of character. I mean, it's easy for you, but yes, they can't wrap their heads around it because they probably think that each sport requires such a particular concentrated focus. But you're good enough at both that you can do once you're in pickle, you're full pickleball guy.
100%. Golf. I tell you what, as I said before, it's like two completely different personas because golf is more you're playing against yourself. It's more patience, and pickle is as well. But pickle can get intense, meaning I keep relatively even keel, but I play against some pros, most pros that get very intense. You're going to get some come-ons, you're going to get some stare downs, and you have to handle that. That's more tennis. There's a lot of college tennis players getting into the game, and so it gets pretty chippy. I don't like getting into chippiness. I'm very even keel. I'm very chill.
Oh, come on. No, get chippy.
But you have to learn
stir it up, Dom.
Yeah, exactly. You have to learn how to deal with that. And that's helped with my golf game. Why? Because you have to learn how to deal with adversity, right? And, hopefully I do get on the PGA Tour, and that'll be great practice at the PGA Tour, because I'm sure there's going to be some people in the crowd maybe saying some stuff, and you have to learn how to block it out or just not let it affect you. And Pickle is the epitome of that, because it's just 2v2. Boom. It's not like I'm playing against 140 guys. I have to play great. No, I have to beat you right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So if you play poorly and I play okay, I still win the match, on to the next. So that's helped me out phenomenally. Just keeping a balance, and the competitive side is incredible. So.
Well, the two different characters going from one to another, I just thought it just popped in my head. It's like a police dog. The thing is like all business on the job when the vest is on. Then it gets home, and it's the family pet. Kids are riding it and playing with its eyeballs and teeth. All right.
100%. Like two different personas. As I said, a lot of people didn't know that I was either, the pickleballers didn't know I was a golfer. And
how would they?
Right. But now they do, because, rumors got around, and, I've, posted some on social media. And,
I've seen people in regular jobs when I worked in broadcasting. They look like two totally different people on TV. And then when I got them socially, they're extremely intense on the job, and then away from it, it's just I didn't even recognize them. Just like their attitude and their lightness would just change their appearance so much. Yeah. Hey, Dom, so we're winding down here. We're about 35 minutes in. If you had one tip to give to anybody in golf that you knew would help anybody, good player, amateur player, whatever, what would it be?
Number one, have fun, enjoy the game, and number two, stick to the fundamentals. Because it's so easy to overcomplicate the game, and golf is unique in that sense. Is that you can think about so many different things. You don't want to start overthinking. One, keep enjoying it, even the bad rounds. Enjoy the bad rounds, because you can learn from them, and then go practice it on the range. And then when you go play, don't overthink it. But just focus on the fundamentals if you want a technical thing, and then the mental side, enjoy the game, because you're going to get some good, and no matter how much you practice, you're going to get some bad. And you just have to enjoy it.
I like that. It's simple and it's profound. Keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method. You're not the first to say that, but just hearing you say it based on the level of play that you've had, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to take the ass kicking this game gives me, and I'm going to enjoy it. Or at least I'm going to try. And if I can't,
it's amazing. It's as I said, it's been a long journey for me. I mean, since I first turned pro, what is it, 14 years now? I feel like I've been through thick and thin, but as I said, if you're humble enough and you learn, it builds character, and we're going to keep moving forward.
Love it. Dom, really appreciate the time. I wish you nothing but success on the pickleball circuit and also golf. I'm cheering for you. You've had great success, and I think some of your best success is just around the corner if you keep believing. All right.
Thank you, Kevin. A pleasure to be on the show. I'm going to go enjoy myself a party drink right now.
Okay, very good. On that behalf, big thanks to Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course, try a Party. Paradise Craft Distributors is an exclusive distributor of Party across the state of Florida. So if you don't have it at your golf course, get in touch with Paradise Craft. And a big thanks to the Golf Real Estate Pros of Gene Walsh and Vince Visicaro. SuncoastDreams.com, a division of fine properties in the greater Sarasota area, based at Lakewood National Golf Club, the best golf community in America. For Dom Geminiani, I'm Kevin Walsh. We'll see you again next time on Party Time, My Golf Story.
You've been listening to It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers, and the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Visicaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com or call 941-220-4000.